He got into a boat, and his disciples followed him. Oh, I love this one. Suddenly, a violent storm came up on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by waves, but he was asleep. They came. Oops. They came and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you terrified, O you of little faith?" Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was great calm. The men were amazed and said, "What sort of man is this, whom even the winds and the sea obey?" Like this one, actually, I do have on this channel my little thought thing about this, that recognizing that sometimes the storms, those things are because Jesus is showing something about him, not necessarily about us. Like a lot of things, the Lord shows us things about ourselves, or there's things we need to change or do. But sometimes I think God is just showing us about him. But I was also thinking, because right now in my situation in my life, there's some difficulties that I'm really struggling with. How long I've been praying and hoping and waiting and watching for some sort of resolution, some sort of answer, and there's nothing. The storm's still going. And I'm trying to have faith, and I'm trying to trust, and I'm trying to watch and see what God is telling me about himself, all these wonderful things, right? But it just yesterday, actually, had a kind of time of pouring out my heart in a way that was a little bit more um, like the psalmists, right? That is not so much the polite prayers, but more of the what the heck is going on? Like, I have been asking and pleading, where are you? You know, and it just kind of came upon my heart that, like, at some point, even though I know that Jesus said all these things about having faith, and that we should be patient, we should be all these things, there are some times where the storm warrants. I know that God can do anything, and I know Jesus can do whatever he wants, and I know there's a perfect plan for my life. But right now, Jesus, I need you to wake up. And I'm not trying to be belligerent, and I'm not trying to be demanding, but there's a time where maybe my faith is weak, and maybe I should have faith while I see Jesus sleeping, knowing he is there. But sometimes if I don't have the faith, I need to wake up the one who gives me the faith, because I don't know what else to do. And that is just one that, to me, that sometimes we've got to wake Jesus. We got to admit that I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm fearful. I'm all these things that I know that a person who trusts you shouldn't be, but I am these things, and I need you to get up. But anyway, when he came to the other side, to the territory of the Gadarenes, two demoniacs who were coming from the tombs met him. They were so savage that no one could travel by that road. They cried out, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the appointed time?" Some distance away, a herd of many swine was feeding. The demons pleaded with him, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go then." They came out and entered the swine, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea, where they were drowned. The swineherds ran away, and when they came to the town, they reported everything, including what had happened to the two demoniacs. Thereupon the whole town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their district. So, one of the things I've missed about this story until recently was like that basically, I don't remember exactly where it is that Jesus says he just gets into, like, I don't remember what triggered it, but he's like, "Let's go cross, right? Let's cross the sea." They come here, and he does this healing, and then they go back. And so it's kind of like, is these two dudes right here that, if I understand, are probably um, at least, I don't know exactly what, but they wouldn't be Jews, right, in this area. if there's swine herds, right? Because that's totally like unclean food, right? So um, this, they're not even necessarily Jews, but Jesus comes across here, does all that for them, and then goes back. Just like there's the part where Jesus says they need to go through, like we have to pass through Samaria, and that's where he meets the woman at the well. And it's like he chooses, like he knows the path, like for certain people, and for some people, like it was just for them. And I think, I wonder. I mean, I'm sure their healing sparked at least a spreading and preparation for the gospel in some people, like at least being familiar with the story at the, when the time comes and it does come to the Gentiles. But I just think it's interesting that he's like, I know there's two people over there who need me, and we're just gonna make a quick pit stop, and then we can come back.